Do I start the One of Glass? Do I start? The thing is, I have picked an 8-book TBR for April. And 2 of those books, I mean, one is Mile High, which is over 500 pages, and one is a Mariana Zapata book, and they're all over 500 pages. Do I start? Do I start? I was meant to start this in February. Oh, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna start The One of Glass. Okay, I've started The Assassin's Blade. You're on an angle again, but it's fine. It's not fine, it's annoying me. No, but that's better. So, I'm about just over 30 pages through, well, just under 40 pages through. I'm on part 1, chapter 5. I've listened to that while I've made my lunch. So far, I am enjoying this. My friend, we were originally going to do a tandem read. No, we're going to do the tandem read. We were originally going to do a buddy read. However, I had a reading slump, she couldn't wait, so she's gone ahead with it. So she confirmed to me that she thinks Assassin's Blade should be read first because if you read it between Crown of Midnight and Heir of Fire, you get taken out of the action. So I'm trusting her and reading this first. I thought to myself, I could tell there was a chance out of any of the books, if I was going to struggle to get into them, it was going to be this one, and listening to it would make it easier for me. So I'm glad I've listened to part of it. It's on Spotify, if you have Spotify. It's included in premium. That was so good. I'm so glad I read this one first. I don't know why. I feel like it's given me such... I think I'm going to go into Throne of Glass now, feeling already so connected to Selena. I knew Sam must die because he was perfect and I loved him as a love interest. And I hadn't heard Sam as a name of a love interest. I can't remember the names of the love interests. One of them begins with D. Is it Dorian? Because I know there's multiple relationships that happen, because I know it does eventually become multiple POV after the first few books. I know that. I don't know much more about that. It's I don't know much about the series. I'm very lucky that not much has been spoiled for me. My friend did tell me that you're in Selena's point of view for the first few books, and then you're in multiple POV. So I know that multiple people, that means there's multiple love interests because there's multiple main characters. I know that. But Sam wasn't a name I'd ever heard, so I just had a feeling that that wasn't going to be... and how perfect he was, and how much they loved each other. I was like, he has to die for her to be able to... There's no way she can go on from him. There was no way she would go on from him unless he died. So I just had a feeling. And then obviously everything that happened at the end, I could guess from a mile off what was happening. And I don't mind that, because it was just like, oh my god, this is what's happening, and then you're reading it and it's quite nice to be proven right, even though I didn't want to be right, because it's awful, the betrayal that she had throughout this book, and yet she still would refuse to believe that she was being betrayed by this person. I can't remember how to pronounce his name, I just keep calling him the King, and he's not the King. This book was so good. It's just written, I got into it so easy, even though I listened a lot to the audiobook. My hours ran out literally at the end of a chapter, thankfully. Yeah, I just think this makes so much sense to read it first. I'm so looking forward to jumping into the rest of the series. I do have another reading vlog I need to finish before I start the rest of the series, which I didn't think about when I started this book. So I need to read at least one other fantasy book for that video before I can jump back into Throne of Glass. But I'm going to do that as soon as possible. I'm going to race through those 2 books, 1 or 2 books I need to read for that video, and then I'm in it. I'm in Throne of Glass. I feel like I'm going to be so much more ready for the story of what's happening next. I'm already going to be so invested in Selena and her story. Oh, I'm so excited. I really feel like this, I've made a really good decision reading this one first, I have to say. So, I'm probably going to rate it... I was going to rate it 4 stars, but really with how much I'm saying I'm enjoying it, it's probably like a 4.5, because it was just a really solid prequel to the series. And I haven't even read the series yet, but for how connected you feel with her, the backstory you're getting, the writing I really enjoyed as well, I'm going to give it a 4.5 to be honest with you. Okay, for you, it's been about 2 seconds. For me, it's been about 3 weeks, nearly, since I read The Assassin's Blade. Listen, I was only meant to read Quicksilver And then I read Quicksilver, and then I was like, it's the Fae aspects and there was a couple things I was like, I'm gonna get myself confused between these, okay? So I thought, let's read something else in between. So I did. I read a little fantasy themed romance. I wouldn't say it was a fantasy. And then I was like, I need to get through some of this TBR for this month. So then I read a cozy fantasy. And then my pre-order for Fearless came. So I had to read that. So anyway, as of today, it is currently the 16th of April. I go to Amsterdam in 10 days. And I wanted to have read the first 4 before I go. So I have 10 days to read all of these because then I want to do the tandem read and Kingdom of Ash. What Ashes? Kingdom of Ash? Kingdom of Ashes? I don't know. In the beginning of May. Can I do this? I don't know. The first book is only just over 400 pages, so maybe. Oh, the thing is, this one we're creeping into 500 page territory. And this one I think is going to be, yep, 600 pages. So let's get into Throne of Glass. I am so excited. I literally had an early finish today. And I was like, right, okay, I need to get my video edited and uploaded for today. Have a shower, have my tea, done. Right. It's 7:20. We're going to lock in for the rest of the night. I don't think I have anything else now to do for the rest of the night. So let's do this. I also don't know how I'm going to film this video because realistically it's an 8-book series and I have never put 8 books into a reading vlog before, so God knows how long this video is going to be. This is going to be full spoiler all the way through, which will help me a little bit, but yeah, I don't know how much I'm going to be able to film of each book. We're just going to have to wing it and go with it. Okay, it is a couple days later now and I haven't updated you and I apologise. So I'm just over, according to Spotify, 53% through the book. I've listened to a little bit of it because I want to read this, but I'm also having to like do some housework. So I've been listening to it while doing those things / reading it. So I'm doing a mix of both. So far, I'm really enjoying. I feel like, listen, I know the name Dorian. And I don't know if he's her guy or someone else's guy. I don't know. I just know everyone loves Dorian. So it's kind of exciting seeing little bits of that play out. But currently we've also got Cheol, who seems to have some sort of feelings for her as well. And she kind of is like, yeah, he's alright. So I don't know what's happening romance-wise, but currently romance is back burner. It's not something that I think is even going to slightly happen in this book, really. But plot-wise, it's very interesting. I'm really intrigued with what's going on. We've got like a murder mystery happening. We have some history that is being relearned at the moment with these like marks. I don't know how to pronounce the word. Even, yeah, I've been listening to it, but it's like word but with a Y. So those marks are all over the castle and Selena's trying to figure out what they mean. Obviously it's going to relate back to old Fae magic. We've met one of the Fae as well, whose name, can't remember, we'll be honest with you. I'm not good with names, especially if they're like not known names that I just used in everyday life. Definitely very interesting at the moment. I'm really excited to find out what's going to happen and with the rest of the series. It's especially because Dorian we like, but his dad is awful, so that's also very interesting. I'm wondering when we're going to see Arobin again, because obviously he is the big bad in the Assassin's Blade, and currently Selena is not able to really believe that, but we haven't seen him yet. But surely he knows that she's back in whatever you call the place. Rifthold. Surely he knows she's back in Rifthold. Surely he's heard. I mean, she's gone by a different name, I suppose, but yeah, definitely very interesting. I'm excited to find out who the murderer is, because it's like a full-on murder mystery going on. I'm kind of loving it. It's the next day, I have about 100 pages left. They have just kissed. Listen, I feel like, am I wrong? She doesn't end up with Dorian, right? She's surely gonna end up with a Faye. That's the only thing that makes sense. So I'm like not getting attached to Dorian, but I really like him. But they had their first kiss, so I'm like, ooh. Anyway, that's what's just happened. Like literally just happened a few pages ago. So this is the thing though. It's a Sarah J Maas book and we're in the final 100 pages. I'm just realising. So what's gonna happen? I've also got a pack of mini eggs because it's Easter. This is my last packet of big mini, like my last big packet of mini eggs. It's my last packet of mini eggs in general. I think they stopped being sold today as well. I'm just realising it's the 19th. That is so sad. Anyway, I really want to know what's up with Kaltain because she keeps getting these headaches, but why? And it seems to always be whenever she's doing something really bad, the headaches kind of get worse. So it makes it, it's like an interesting, I'm like, what's going on with her? But she seems absolutely crazy. I think we need to stay away from her, personally. Very interesting. Kane being the person summoning this dude, not a surprise. How he knows about it is a surprise. Nehemia actually being good, not really a surprise, because that was clearly like a bit of a, I don't know, but I like Nehemia. I think we're on his side. I think that's where we're gonna be, probably. I could be wrong. Kane needs to die. That's just simple. I don't know where it's gonna go from here though. We've still got 80 pages. I am so surprised that did not end on a cliffhanger. That ended quite neatly, I have to say. I'm probably gonna rate it 4 stars. I enjoyed it, but weirdly not as much as The Assassin's Blade. I don't know why, I just really enjoyed that book. Yeah, it was good. I think I've had to like listen to quite a bit as well, so that's kind of took me out of it slightly. I find listening to books, I don't take them in as well as when I read them. But I also did want to continue reading this and not want to take ages reading this, so listening to it helped that. I don't know. I did enjoy it. The bit of the love triangle I'm enjoying, but I'm fairly sure she's not going to end up with either of them. The murder mystery felt not very mystery because we could kind of tell it was Kane. It was always going to just be him. I'll be interested to see what happens with Nehemia and her trying to lead this rebellion. Anyway, I'm going to leave this here for now. And I will see you tomorrow when I start reading Crown of Midnight. It's Easter Sunday, it's about 10 to 7. I'm literally about to go to a pub with a friend. So I thought, hang on a minute, I won't lie, I've listened to a lot of this today. I think I listened to about 100 pages. I'm on chapter 16. I had a little bit of a read before, so I've only probably read physically 20 pages of this book today. Anyway, 120 pages through, and I don't know what it is right now, but I'm not super invested, and I think that's a little bit illegal to be saying because this is The One of Glass. I should be eating it up, but I don't know what it is. I don't know. I think part of what it is, I think partly it is because I'm listening to it, to be honest, so I'm not going to do that. It's just I was doing my nails. I wanted to get as much done as possible. I'm going to Amsterdam in 6 days, and I've done a little tulip sticker. And then I got ombre French, but I don't know if you can tell that you can really see the sponges, like the sponge marks. So I'm not massively happy with them. Anyway, I think part of the reason I'm not super invested is because I'm reading it. But I also think it's partly because I just know we're not really into the thick of the plot yet. And I know we're like scratching the surface of what the real plot's going to be. And for this being a series about Faye, we've only had like the ghost of a Faye in book 1, and not even in this book yet. We haven't seen Elena in this book at all. So I think it's partly because I just know there's more to come and I'm waiting for it to get really intense and have a lot happen, but we're not there yet. But I have a feeling it's either end of this book or end of next book. My friend was like, oh my god, the end of this book, like, but I can't remember if it was this one or the other one. So I know something's gonna happen quite drastic, but I don't know when. But I am enjoying it. I just don't feel like I'm super invested. I do love Selena. Dorian has quite literally just like backed off fully. He's like, okay, like Selena and Chaol seem to have this real bond. There's something going on between them. And he's like, okay, I'm fully gonna back off now, which I respect. But I also am fairly sure she doesn't end up with Chael, so I wonder where that goes. I wonder what's gonna happen there. I don't know. Part of me's like, I don't recognise the name, so is he gonna die? But there's no way she's gonna have like 2 partners die on her. That would be so rude. That would be awful. I would never fall in love again if I had 2 people I loved die. I couldn't do it. Anyway, yeah, today might be the last clip we film with this chair in this room. Because tomorrow it's going to be moving downstairs. So we'll see. We'll see. And then I need to figure out what I'm going to do chair-wise in this room. Because I will do that. Anyway, I've only read a couple chapters since last night. I've just sat down to probably start reading again. And I feel so bad for Dorian. I haven't even got his point of view of it yet. But Chael and Selena are having a dance outside. They're meant to be like guarding a party, and Chael found Selena dancing on her own, and he's like, dance with me, and it's like the cutest thing because in the last book he rejected her, and now he's like, dance with me, and I like them. It's the thing, I'm fairly sure she doesn't end up with Chael, so it just seems too easy for an 8-book series for her to end up with the guy from book 2. I really like him, and she just said that she realises like she's home when she's with him, but I feel like I'm not getting the vibe of them 2 being endgame. But I do feel really bad for Dorian because he's just watching them dance and have this moment together, and he sees the way she looks at him, and this is the thing, like she looks at him in Dorian's point of view in such a loving way, and Chael looks like they look each other the same, but I just think it's not gonna last. So either Chael's gonna die, or for some reason it's gonna have to fizzle out. I don't know, and I don't know why. Like, it makes sense for Selena to not be with Dorian because realistically an assassin and a prince, that's not gonna work. I don't know, but I just feel so bad for Dorian because he really likes her, and she's the first woman he's ever felt anything more for, and the fact he's a prince and he's like, but I want to marry for love, like I love him. I hope he finds someone nice. Okay, the pink chair is officially downstairs. It's actually quite cozy. Living room is not finished. It's not going to be finished for a few months for me getting the furniture I need. And now the spare room is going to be very unfinished until further notice. But the living room feels so much better with this chair down here again. So anyway, not that that's anything, but I'm halfway through Crown of Midnight. I'm on chapter 27, so just over halfway through. I'm a little bit underwhelmed, okay? I feel like, so this is the 3rd book of the series that I'm reading since I read Assassin's Creed first. I feel like this series was really hyped up. So I was expecting to be more invested in the plot and in the characters than I was for ACOTAR, and that is not the case. That is not to say I'm not enjoying it. I am enjoying it. I am. I just don't feel giddy. I don't feel as excited. I don't feel as invested as I did for ACOTAR. They're very different. They're very different series. This is definitely a lot more politics heavy and plot heavy, which is completely fine. It's just for how much people hype it up. I'm waiting for that to kick in. I don't know, because everyone does like hype up how much they love the characters, and I'm not there yet. I mean, I love Selena. I'm really invested in her. But everyone else, I'm just like, I don't know. I don't trust them. Dorian I trust. Chael I kind of trust, but I think he's gonna have a morality struggle. Nehemia, I don't know yet if I fully trust her. I don't know. And also, what's his name? Is it Adrian? The escort guy? Him I do not trust, even slightly. Archer, I don't trust him. I don't know what it is. I just think he could end up being dodgy or making some wrong decisions. I think as well, I've got so many questions and not enough answers. I feel like I'm not getting anywhere in the story. I feel like, not that it's a struggle to pick this book up and read it, but it is a little bit at the same time. Yeah, so I'm enjoying it. I just don't 100% know how I feel about it. Well then, I didn't even know if I could trust Nehemia or not, because she's fucking dead. I knew someone had to die in this book. I was expecting Chael, to be honest with you. But I feel so bad for Selena. Everyone she loves either betrays her or dies. Literally everyone. It's like not even funny. She's had that friend betray her and tried to kill her. Well, technically she like forced her out and then was trying to kill everyone else, but still. Sam died. Arobynn betrayed her, and now Nehemia's dead. So, and her parents died literally in front of her. So I feel so bad. I feel so bad for Selena. Also, when Chaol got taken there and she like was beating everyone up, she's so badass, it's not even funny. Like, no one can match her. She is a league unto her own. The only question I have, if Nehemia was helping Archer and all those people to form like a rebellion, why did they just let her go to her death? Like, they knew she was gonna die. So why did they do that? Unless it was like a martyr move and she was like, well, I know I'm gonna die, but it'll be for the greater good because people will hear of this and will join the rebellion. I don't know. But either way, I am not happy that Nehemia is dead because Selena does not deserve this. Well, now I know why they break up. And there's no way she's gonna stay with him after this, realistically. I can't believe Chaol's put him in the dungeon. Like, mate, you're making so many bad decisions right now, it's not even funny. I love how she's gone after Grave because he's the one who's killed Nehemia. He is like the most gruesome. He's not even like an assassin at this point. He's just like a perverted serial killer. To the point where even Arobynn wouldn't like let him in the guild. Like, that's how bad he is. He is faced by Selena, thinking he can overpower her. Straight away gets overpowered. There's not even a slight fight. He gets no punches in. Nothing. And he is begging her, like he is terrified of her. And that brings me a perverse amount of joy. The fact that someone as awful as him, as twisted, as cruel, is like brought to nearly soiling himself of fear because of Selena. I love her. She's iconic. I'm actually really surprised it wasn't the king. So what was the king's plan? Was he genuinely just going to question her? Surely he was going to kill her. I just feel like this shot isn't as pretty as it used to be with the purple walls. I might have to tilt it down a little bit, you see more pink. It looks like I'm wearing exactly what I did yesterday. However, well, I mean, I kind of am. I was cold and I put this on over the top of my top, okay? Anyway, I love how basically my last update, I was saying I'm not that invested and all that kind of stuff. And then Chaol got kidnapped, Selena went crazy and really badass, and then Nehemia died, and again Selena just went even more crazy. And then she avenged her, and I got very invested very quickly last night, so I read quite a decent portion. I think I've got literally about 120 pages left. So I am going to put on like a 2-hour ambience video on YouTube. Sit here, lock in. I've got a Lipton raspberry kombucha. I've got my Stanley. And I've got the last of my mini eggs. So we're in for a good time this afternoon. Let's get this book finished and then we can go on to Airfire, I think is next. We'll see. Things have just gotten so intense. Dorian needs to just take a seat on this one. He needs to just get out of there. Like, he has no idea. He's just followed Selena, and then she's like unleashed this like hell beast basically. I really want to know what happened to it though. But it sounds like this creature has been like tortured and like experimented on and all this kind of stuff, and now it's like not sure what it is. I don't know, but it's creepy. It's really like, I'm reading this, I'm like, oh, it's really giving me the creeps. If a woman screams at you to run, why aren't you running? Like, women know when to run, okay? We know. Why aren't you running? Trust us when we say run. Like, I would just like to say I knew that Archer was dodgy, and the fact that they kidnapped Chaol to make sure she was away while Nehemia died and they just let her go and be killed. That was dodgy, and I knew it was dodgy. It was him. It was him. I knew there was something fishy about that. It was just not sitting right with me. It didn't all click into place properly. And of course Selena wouldn't see it because she was just grieving, but it just logically didn't make sense why they would let her go after her death if she was working with them. And now we know. I don't know why. Bear in mind, I'm not really an EXO fan, but I've just started reading Chaeyoung's name as Chanyeol, and I don't know why. He's, out of EXO, not my favourite person. Barely even recognise him, but my brain is now calling Chaeyoung Chanyeol. Just for any K-pop fans out there. Anyway, Dorian is so cool. Okay, listen. I knew I liked him from the beginning. I just love his character. And why is he like Violet? Why is he wielding pure power? I'm into it. Not Fleetfoot. Wait. What do you mean you've gone through after him? Where's Chaeyoung gone? Oh wait, I read too far. I read too far. Oh no, I've spoiled it for myself. What the fuck just happened? What? I read the last line of the chapter accidentally, but I had a full paragraph to read. I was like, what do you mean she unleashed herself? Or unleashed the monster? Like, Fleetfoot got took through the portal, so Chaeyoung's got after it. So then Selena's, like, whacked Dorian off the wall, so she's gone off through the portal after them. When I read Selena with Faye, or Selena, sorry, and I was like, are you fucking kidding me? How was it hidden this? I'm so confused, because clearly she didn't know about this. Oh, but I suppose magic's banned. But then, shouldn't it's magic that's like hiding the fact she's Faye, features-wise? I'm a bit confused, but I'm sure we'll find out at some point. Archer literally saying you're not a murderer to her. She is. She's an assassin. What do you mean? She kills people for a living. It'd be like, you can go him being like, I know you're a good woman, so she kills him. That's kind of funny. I love that. I'm so confused. What did she say to him? What wouldn't have made a difference? Wait, is she Aelin? Is she Aelin? I knew it, she is Aelin. I've had this like thought in the back of my mind since Aelin was mentioned. I was like, because she's from Terrasen, I was like, is Selena Aelin? But I never like voiced it, but I had that like little niggling thought in the back of my mind. And Chaeyoung has literally just sent her, essentially, to her allies. Oh, that's such a good way to end the book. I need to go straight into the next one, like right now. Literally right now. People are really smart when they talk about this series because they talk about Aelin and Selena as different characters. And technically they are. Aelin's the Fae, Selena's the human. Like, if you think about it that way. I need to go and get the second book literally right this second. I'm going to get it now. I'm going to read a couple chapters and then I need to eat and go in the shower and get things ready for it tomorrow, but it wasn't even like a cliffhanger that book ends on. It's literally just like, you need to read more. I'm fully invested now. It's been so dramatic the last like 100 pages of that book that I'm like, I simply must continue. Oh, I am also aware, I think this has more points of view in it, so God knows what's gonna happen in this book. Okay, it's Thursday. I didn't film anything yesterday, but I did read about 100 pages, so we're on, I literally only read like, I think it was 18 pages I'd read on Tuesday, and then I had to film a whole vlog, edit a whole vlog. Took a while. It was the Fearless reading vlog. I had 7 hours worth of footage. I had pretty much filmed the whole time of me reading that just to get my reactions. And it was kind of funny watching myself cry on camera, I can't lie. Anyway, we're on chapter 18, page 137. I need to finish this by like 6 AM Saturday morning when I'm leaving to go to the airport, because I don't want to have to take this to Amsterdam with me. However, at this point, I might. Thoughts so far, couldn't tell you because I've forgotten them from yesterday. I think in one clip I said Dorian does end up with Selena. I was wrong. It's not the Aelin name I'd seen. He ends up with Manon. That's what I'd had spoiled for me. But we've met Manon now, and I don't know how I feel about her. She's like, I thought she was gonna be like cool and I don't know, but really she's just kind of creepy. Like the teeth, the nails, the killing, I don't know, like, don't get me wrong, I don't know why I've got a double standard between Manon and Selena, I just do. And currently I feel a bit not sure about Manon, but I have heard that she grows on you and that there's like character development and all this kind of stuff. But currently I'm not understanding what Dorian will see in her. So there's that. We've met Rowan, and I love how they just travelled for days not talking. I find that hilarious. I'm just like, yeah, that's what I would like. Just companionable silence. That's what I like. But he seems, I don't know. Currently he seems a bit boring. He's not got much going on. So I'm looking forward, I'm hoping anyway, that he will have more character development, more growth, more, you know what I mean? Just something to him. So like more substance, you know? So we'll see. Oh yeah, but the fact they're kind of related, like really distantly, don't get me, like I know that it's distant relation, is in like centuries, as in they probably don't share blood anymore. But it was mentioned and now I'm like, I'm fairly sure she ends up with Rowan. I knew. The fact you've mentioned there is even the most distant relation. No. Jail. No. No. I don't know where we're at. I don't know where we're at. I'm so tired today. Literally every Thursday I'm like, I can't read, I can't do anything but lie down and not move. I'm a few more chapters in and I've fully decided I do not like Rowan in the slightest. Listen. I know this man does not know what Selena's been through. Okay, I know he hasn't a clue. But he is acting like she's like a spoiled, entitled brat for no reason. Like, I don't know what information he thinks he has on her that I don't have. He literally called her worthless and said she should have died when she was 8. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Not a fan. It's gonna take a lot to redeem him if he is gonna be her love interest. A lot. Okay, the goal of finishing the next book before coming to Amsterdam has not happened. We're just over halfway through Heir of Fire. So far I don't like Rowan. I think he's not very nice. I'm sure I've said this before, but we have learned some lore about him and his mate and who's dead. So I feel like I understand him a bit more, but I still don't think I like him very much. Don't know what's going on with the whole Manon and the Wyvern. I don't know, it's weird, and I'm not really caring about that part of the storyline, but I am caring about Chaol, Dorian, and Aedion. I feel like I like them two storylines between Selena and then Chaol, but I'm not really bothered about the Manon one yet. I feel like we need more, which actually the next chapter I'm on is for them. I don't know, I just don't like her. I don't understand what Dorian's gonna see in her, to be honest. She's like a bit crazy and creepy. Not in the same way Selena can be crazy, so time will tell. I'm thawing to Rowan a tiny bit, but not a lot. We just got to the part where Rowan has seen her back for the first time, and we got a who did this to you moment. I have no idea if you can hear me, but I am like screaming on the inside. We love a who did this to you moment. Okay, I'm gonna go and probably update you later, but it happened. Okay, I'm in the last 130 pages. This is really terrible lighting. Selena and Rowan are in the woods, and one of them weird horrible creature thingies is in there, and she has just stopped. So I have stopped to put the book down to get my reaction to this, because if this is Sam, I'm gonna throw the book out the window and not continue this series, because I just had this horrible feeling that it's Sam, and I'm not gonna be happy if it is. So let's find out. I will let you know when I find out, Mammy. You'll find out when I throw the book out the window. Okay, I don't think it's Sam. We're all good. I don't know why. It just like stopped. She like stopped, and I was like, if this is Sam, I still think Sam's been made one of these things, and he's not actually dead. But thank God it's not. Okay, I have about 30 pages left until I finish Heir of Fire. I don't know what has happened since I last spoke to you about this, we've had, oh, so Rowan has a blood oath with Selena. I'm still going to call her Selena, to be honest, because to me she's Selena. He has now got a blood oath to her because she managed to free him from his blood oath to Maeve. Which, what's the point in getting rid of a blood oath just to put another one in place? I don't know. She basically went up in flames and killed a bunch of the creepy Valg prince dudes. And Narok? Narok was it? Or Nanarok? I think it was Narok. She's killed him. What else has happened since? They have this like bond, I don't know how to explain. But I love how it's been a very slow burn. They've just like, at this point their bond is beyond friendship, it's beyond romance even. It's just this soul deep connection that just happened all of a sudden over time. And I'm really loving it. Like the way that they seem to be with each other, the way they seem to act with each other, just how they think and feel of each other. I love it. But none of it is romantic yet. But I'm also loving that. I'm loving that it's a slow burn. I've no idea what's going to happen, to be honest. I mean, things are not going great at home. And like they're going to be on their way back. I'm wondering what they're going to come back to. I'm very excited to finish this, but I'm also like, what's going to happen in the next 30 pages? Because realistically, there's probably going to be another, like at least one more like thing happen, like big thing. Oh yeah, we've not been with the chapter I'm on chapter 61. We've gone back to like the Iron Teeth, like the witches. We've not been with whatever her name is, Moran? Something like that. I can't remember what her name is. We've not been with her for a while. Obviously, they're involved in whatever the king's doing, like in a bad way. I don't know what's going on with them. They creep me out. I don't like them. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I don't know what thoughts I've had because I've just been like reading as quick as I can. I just want to get through this book. I just want to finish it. And I haven't like been picking up my camera every time something happens because either I haven't been able to or whatever. Because like last night my mum was like falling asleep. I couldn't pick my camera up and tell you what my thoughts were because my mum was next to me falling asleep. And I didn't want to wake her up, so I'm very invested at this point. I think end of Crown of Midnight and all of Aerofire I've been very invested. Well, aside from with the witches, I'm not invested in that. It's funny because they're called like there's wing leaders and it's this series came first. I'm aware. I'm gonna just preface this now. But with it being like war games and there being wing leaders and having this like bond with Wyvern, which we don't like in Fourth Wing, but anyway, it's just feeling very Fourth Wing on there in that account. I don't know. Yeah, I think that's all the thoughts I've got at the minute. If I have any more, I will let you know. Okay, it's now Saturday. I finished Aerofire on Monday night. And now I can't remember now what I thought about it. Partly because I've since read 2 books that went in the Throne of Glass series. And partly because I feel like I couldn't take any of it in while I was in Amsterdam. Not the same as I would have if I was at home, just in my own zone reading. Because most of the time that I was reading, either my mum was trying to talk to me or she had the telly on. So I've rated it a 4.25. I feel like I really read. Anyway. Yeah, I rated it a 4.25. I did enjoy it. I probably enjoyed it about the same as Crown of Midnight. The ending got me a little bit, but not the same. I think this one wasn't as slow as Crown of Midnight was. I preferred the ending of Crown of Midnight to the ending of this because this one wasn't as like shocking in the same way. It wasn't as surprising. Like I knew Sorsha had to die because if Dorian's gonna eventually end up with Manon, she wasn't gonna be alive, realistically. Her actually being a part of the Resistance, also not a surprise. Chaol leaving was a surprise because if there's one thing about me is I am a Chaol disliker. I wouldn't say I hate him. He's not as bad as he could be, but he's just a little bit of a wet blanket and he can't make his mind up. And where I'm at currently, so I'm currently reading Queen of Shadows. I'm about 70 pages in. And Chaol and, we're gonna call her Aelin now because we know she's Aelin. They have had their reunion. And he has left that being like, well, you're not the Selena who left, and you're not this, and you're awful. And basically, he's in his head whining about who she is. And it's like Dorian said to him, you can't choose which parts of her you love. So to me, he never loved her. He loved his idea of her, which isn't who she is. And he doesn't even accept who she is. Yeah, he's offended that she's took his ring off. I don't really like Chaol very much, I can't lie. And I think I was glad he finally kind of stood up for a belief in Heir of Fire at the end. But even then, the way he's starting to act in Queen of Shadows, I feel like he just wants the king out, but that's it. And I don't think he realises just how big of a war is going to have to come, just how much change is going to have to happen. And that, yes, magic is going to have to come back. And he's like, I don't want magic back. So only Dorian can have it? Like, who's your best friend, who's someone you trust, but no one else can. And now you're being like, well, who's going to police that? Who's to say that the Fae aren't going to be monsters and use their magic and all that? Like, all this kind of stuff. Okay, that is all well and good, except it's working on other continents. So that is where we're at currently. I will say, for Heir of Fire, started off really disliking Rowan. I do like him, and I do quite like their bond. And I like how much of a slow burn they're going to be, while at the same time already feeling so connected. And the romance hasn't even started yet. They just have this connection that's on this other level. And I'm really enjoying that. So, now we're in this book. I think I read 20 pages yesterday before I kind of fell asleep. And I think physically reading this right now is very uncomfortable because of how big the other side is. And I haven't really got any brain capacity of reading at the minute, but I also really want to continue the series. So I'm just tired. The audiobook is not on Spotify for this one. I don't know why. I don't know why there's no audiobook for this. It's making me sad because last night I could have done with just lying there with my eyes closed with the audiobook on. And it wasn't there. So I'm trying my best to read this. Also, we're back with Manon. I'm not bothered. I'm not bothered. She creeps me out. I don't really like her. In fact, her whole covering creeped me out. I don't like this version of witches. Personally, it's not for me. The iron teeth thing. I think if I was going to be in this world, I would be on the Cochrane witches side, and I don't actually know anything about them. Like, anything we've been told that's genuine lore about those witches, can't remember it. So they just sound less creepy. I'm 160-ish pages in, I'm on chapter 20, so I've made some good progress. Read about 100 pages last night, and I've read about 40-ish pages this morning, just under. I'm about to go out, so I thought I'd do a quick update. We've just rescued Aedion. Is that how you pronounce his name? I don't actually know. But we've just rescued him, and Chael is once again being a wet blanket. I met someone yesterday who said that their favourite character is Dorian and Chael. I understand Dorian. I do not understand Chael. I think he is a little bit of a wet blanket. He just can't make his mind up. He can't commit to a decision unless his hand is forced. And even then, he's very judgmental, and I don't like him all that much, I'll be honest. So apparently he does something in this that I'm either gonna agree with him for or hate him for. So I can't wait to find out what that is and discuss that with my friend, because I have a feeling she doesn't like Chael. I have a feeling. But she hasn't told me because she doesn't want to spoil anything for me. So yeah, I'm glad we got Aedion free. It was a very action-packed little moment there. Lysandra now knows that Celaena is Aelin. It's all happening. I think this is going to be a very action-packed book. I think this might end up being, just based on where we're at the minute, this might end up being my favourite book of the series so far. I'm about to go on to chapter 28. So I'm 230 pages in. Listen, I feel really bad because Aedion obviously is like, oh, I will do the blood oath. That's all he's spoken about in Heir of Fire. And yeah, Rowan beat him to it. And it's a bit awkward now because she hasn't told him yet that someone's beat him to it. And I feel really bad because he's like this whole, everything is about being her eternal servant, basically. Rowan's beat him to the punch, but she didn't know that that's how Aedion felt. I have a feeling he's about to find out because she hasn't told him yet. Even though Aedion has said outright he would like to do the blood oath. And she's not told him. Okay, anyway. Their reunion is so cute. And we're not even seeing it in her point of view. We're seeing it from an outsider's perspective. But the way they're holding each other, I love them. Oh no. She maybe should have said in their little conversation they've had while Rowan was bathing, don't mention the blood oath yet. I haven't told Aedion. Did she decide to do that? No. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I really do not care about this whole, like, the 13 storyline, and I'm really disappointed by that, because anytime you see people talk about liking Throne of Glass, they talk about the 13 and how, like, people get the tattoos for the 13, and currently I just don't care. I'm not invested, and I just don't like them as a whole. I don't like the witches as a whole. Yeah, the witches, I don't like them. They creep me out. They all just seem evil. Maybe, what's her name? Estherine or something like that. Maybe she's not as evil. And there's some parts of Manon that isn't as evil feeling as, I don't know, I just don't like them. I don't trust them. And I couldn't care less about their storyline. I will say one thing. I obviously did not like Hel Tayton at all in Crown of Midnight. I feel so bad for her in this book. She is possibly the most badly abused person in this whole series, aside from maybe Selena's time in Endovia. But even then, like, I really feel for her. She was an awful person, but she was being manipulated. And I don't know, I just feel so bad for her. I hope she makes it out of everything okay. I hope they find a way to save her. Poor Rowan. I'm like over halfway through now. I'm nearly at page 400. I'm like 30 pages away from that. I'm on 370. If I didn't think I could hate Arobin even more than I already do, he's just such an asshole. Lysandra better manage to kill him. He better actually die. If he doesn't, I'm gonna be so annoyed. At the same time, I really don't think Aelin's made the right decision telling Lysandra she can kill Arobin, because I don't think it's gonna work. I don't think it's gonna happen. I think the only way we could have guaranteed he would have died is if we set like Aelin and Rowan on it and Aedion, like, because as well it's gonna be such a quick, boring death, and he deserves a long, brutal death, exactly like what Rowan and Aedion would have done. Okay, I just love Rowan. I love how I hated him in the beginning, and now I absolutely adore him. He's my favourite character. The way he's like, I don't know how to explain it. He's just so soft for her and so caring for her, but he's also like denying himself the right to have her, and now he's just rejected her, and God knows how long it's gonna be before they get together. I think it worked. I think she managed to kill him. Well done. Okay, we're at part 2. I'm gonna leave it there for tonight. Got less than halfway to go. It's getting interesting, but thankfully Arobin is dead, and that is all that matters to me. I'm not usually one to read quotes, okay, but Rowan. Okay, so previously in Queen of Shadows, Rowan was an idiot and told her not to touch him, like, intimately. I don't mean like below the belt. I just mean like she was caressing his face in a way that was more than just like, there's not a platonic way to do that. I'm very sorry, you can probably hear my washing machine very loudly right now, but anyway. So they've been very withdrawn. She has like barely looked at him, like, you know. Anyway, they're having a moment. And Rowan says, I want to take my time with you to learn every inch of you. And this apartment has very, very thin walls. I don't want to have an audience when I make you moan, Aelin. I know this series doesn't have smut, and it's so sad because Rowan, I think, could maybe give Rhys a run for his money. Probably not, but maybe. I was shocked. I was very shocked. Rowan has been very proper, very ever so I was shocked. I'm here for it. We've just had some very sad like backstory for, is it Asterin? Not sure, I'm gonna say Asterin. She was the only one of the 13. I mean, she's like one of the like more main characters of the 13, even though she's not a main character necessarily. She's one of the few where you see her name a lot, and she's in this a lot in the Manon chapters. And she's the only one who I was like, she doesn't creep me out. Actually no, is it Sorrel? Sorrel as well, she doesn't creep me out. She seems like decent. But Astra and Sorrel are the only two where I'm like, their characters don't, like, I care about them a little bit more. Not a lot, but more than Manon, who I don't care about at all currently. Anyway, yes, we just had some really sad backstory for Asterin. And quite honestly, I feel like Manon seems upset about it, but I feel like she should be devastated. Like, this is awful, but at least now it's kind of convinced her to do something. I just don't like Manon. I don't know, but I feel really bad for Asterin. Like, that's such a horrible thing to have happened to her, and to be branded, literally branded like a cow. I'm concerned because in Aelin's pub, it's literally just said she told Lysandra to get out the city, and it said hopefully they were on their way out now. And in the next chapters in Lysandra's pub, and I have a really bad feeling about this. We're in the last 110 to 120 pages. In the last, like, I've got about 115 pages left to go. And I'm like, it's a Sarah J Maas book. This is when shit is gonna hit the fan. And I'm nervous. Let's find out what's gonna happen. They've killed all his men. No wonder they couldn't get in contact with him. I mean, no wonder he couldn't get in contact with them. I'm glad he's not blaming Aelin this time. Like, Chaol, that is your fault. You did betray the king. Deservedly so. But I'm glad he's not blaming Aelin for this. And then it just skips to Rowan's point of view. That's so annoying. Thanks. Oh no. I don't know why they trusted Lorcan either. Like that, as if, why would he have killed them all? You didn't tell him to. I feel like Aelin has been she's been really good with like the whole 2 steps ahead thing, especially when it came to Arobynn. I think he really did underestimate her. Everything else though, I think she's been a little, like, I think she could have doubted things a little bit more. I don't know. Things are really not going well at all for anyone. This plan has gone to absolute shambles. About fucking time, Lorcan. Come on. Do something to help. Why? You say you're on their side, and then you do the worst thing possible. I swear. Wait, how come he can feel it? How come he can feel what Aelin's feeling, but she can't feel what he's feeling? Or is it the blood? Because he serves her, not the other way around. Is it because of the blood bond? The blood oath? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Lorcan's royally fucked it. Royally. And then he comes to save the day, as if he had, like, I need to know the logic behind Lorcan's thought here. Why he's really screwed with their plan, and then come at the last minute to, like, help them, only for it to be, like, 10 times worse. I love how Lysandra's like, yep, I'm gonna be a ghost leopard and scare the absolute shit out of Aerion, while he's, like, very close to death. I love that. I love Lysandra, honestly. I really didn't like her in Assassin's Blade, but in this book she is so good. Just, she is a girl's girl. She's a really strong woman. Just, oh, I love her. I love how Lysandra is like killing so many people so easily, and she hasn't really got any sort of fighting training. Yeah, she's currently in the body of a leopard, but like, it's kind of mad how badass she is right now. I need to know what's happening with Chaol, because the last we saw of him, listen, he's grown on me in the last like 100 pages or so. The last we saw of him, he was like, I'm embracing the pain with no fear. Okay, and then since then a magic tower has come down. So I need to know if Chaol is okay. I'm sure he is, because the only reason why is because I saw someone say that their husband or their boyfriend or someone was reading it, and they cried at Chaol and Dorian having a little bromance scene, and we haven't had that yet. So that's the only way I know that he's alive, but I still just need to know that he's okay. I've got chills, like I've gone cold, and I'm already cold anyway, but I've literally got chills. Also, like, Aeryn is currently spiraling in power, so like, she is gonna explode any second. Oh, I'm actually gonna cry at him, be like, you came back. Oh, I love them. What do you mean, have you come to save me at last? He said that to Aelin. I'm so... I mean, the king's about to die. There's no way he's the big bad. Like, there's 3 more books to go. Is it Parrington? Is Erewhon actually in Parrington? He's been free the whole time. Oh my god. Okay, Dorian, you're on a glass bridge. Maybe, like, don't shatter all the glass, because you're gonna just fall. to your deaths, probably. What if you landed a shard, like a massive shard of ice, or what if glass, or what if a massive shard of glass lands on you, and you're cut in half? Okay, maybe reel it in a bit here, Dorian. We're back with the lead now. The king's dead. Dorian's alive, Chaol's alive, and Elena has announced herself as Queen of Terrasen, and that she will be acting as Queen of Adolin just until Dorian is not in mourning anymore, which, very nice of her, to be honest. I would have just took it. I currently like Manon, purely because she's done everything she can, and it hasn't even had to be a lot to save a lead, and I'm just so happy that Manon has a little bit of heart in her. A, to tell Aelin and Chaol that Dorian is still in there, and B, to literally straight away be like, Elaine's gone, and go mad to get her. So happy about that. She has redeemed herself a little bit. She's made herself more interesting to me. Kaltain, I want to know, how did she manage to break free of the demon? Because previously she said she like chewed away at it or something like that until it was gone. Where though? Where did it go? And how? How did she have that? Because I feel like the whole point was that in Crown of Midnight she was she was so vulnerable and easy to manipulate into getting to this state, but now all of a sudden she's like ridiculously strong in herself, and she was able to get rid of the demon thing, the Valg. But she's so badass. What's in her arm and how was it in there? Who put it there? What is it? The fact she wants to give it to Celaena so she knows stuff. Not that she's Aelin, but she knows stuff. I feel so bad for Kaltain. She could have gone with them, but she's not going to. She's going to stay, I think. She should go. Oh, okay, that's the cloak, okay. So she's going to give her this stone wrapped in a bit of cloak from the cloak that Celaena gave her. Oh, is she going to die? It's the weird key. That's what they put in her. So Celaena will have 2 out of 3 of them. We just need to find the 3rd then. Oh wait, so she has actual fire. Now there's magic. So I'm confused by the shadow fire and how she had access to magic when there was none. Dorian made sense if it was made out of his dad's bloodline. Kaltain's doesn't make sense. I have so many questions about Kaltain. Wait, is she killing the... She's killing the witchlings with the demon, like the witchling demon babies, but she's also killing the witches? Could they not just take the stones out and give them trauma therapy? Like, do they need to die? This is the thing, I think Aelin... I never know what to call her now, Celaena or Aelin. Aelin got to the bottom of that, a pit she called it, and managed to come back out from her influence of the Valg, but the Valg wasn't like in her head and taking over her body. She had a really bad part of the Valg's power against her, but not the worst. And then literally everyone who's had a Valg prince in their heads, in their bodies, wants to die. So like, what is that experience? What is, because the way we've only seen Aelin's point of view of having their power affect you outside of your body, and that sounded like traumatic. So how much worse is it when they're in your head, and what are they doing in your head to make them just want to die? Because surely as well, it's not in their best interest to make their host want to die, because if they die, so does the Valg. But literally everyone is like, just kill me, I can't live through this. That's bad. You would think this was like, if you gave this another 50 pages, you would think this was the end of the war, because Morath has been, for the most part, destroyed. The worst part of Morath has been destroyed. What's going to happen to the other witches, God knows. And the king's dead. So we literally just have that massive King Valg dude. He's not massive, he's in a human being, but you know what I mean, like, that's all we have left, and this is going to be 3 books, so how much worse is it going to get before it gets better? Because currently, we are winning, and that's scaring me, because clearly something bad's going to happen. Also, I have a question. How did Aelin manage to use her power easier than Rowan did when he's had it for far longer, has fully mastered it pretty much, and she has barely mastered it? How... And she's also been without it again for a longer period of time than Rowan has. How did Rowan be like, I can't use it, aside from to maybe turn into a bird for 5 seconds? Like, he was barely able to heal himself. Not Lysandra vomiting black blood from everyone she's killed all over Logan. He deserved that. He deserved to have gore vomited all over him, okay? Oh, so the only reason Logan came to help after sabotaging them was because he realised Gavriel's son was there. I really don't like Logan. Listen, yes, Rowan has decided to not save your queen anymore and save his own. But at the end of the day, you guys were all brothers in arms at one point. Why is Gavriel above Rowan here? I don't like this favouritism. Oh, Lysandra's saying that's what I'm going to find one day. I really hope she does. Is it going to be Aedion? I feel like it is. They have a thing going on. I'm getting vibes between the two of them. But I just really want her to find what Rowan and Aedion have one day. I want her to find love and happiness. Oh, Chael's so happy that he's back. Like Chael crying at seeing Dorian without the collar. I just can't. I think I'm going to cry at this scene. They're holding hands. Stop. Wait. Oh no, is he paralysed? You never left me, Chael. Oh, I can't. So I'm guessing the Southern Continent. I'm wondering if it's going to be the girl we met in The Assassin's Blade. I've completely forgotten her name. But in the audiobook she was like Irish sounding, or was it Scottish sounding? One of the two. I wonder if she's going to be the one, like Aelin can call in a favour and she can heal him. Or get one of like the big healer persons. I don't know, one of like the main people. I don't know, she might not be able to heal to that extent yet, but I'm thinking it's gonna circle back to her. So what are the witches? Are the witches gonna fight for Perrington still? I don't understand this. And also Elide having to walk pretty much the whole way to Terrasen with a like broken ass leg, and I don't mean freshly broken, I mean she is basically crippled. How is she meant to do that? It's gonna take him months. Oh, Chael's really redeemed himself. I started this book hating him. In fact, for the majority of this book, not hating him, I just thought he was annoying and he needed to get over himself. Oh, but he's really changed and grown, and I love Chael now. I love Selena and Dorian's friendship. They are like so sweet. I love them. Oh, that was so good. I think I'm going to rate this one a 4.75. It's not quite got the 5-star feeling, not quite, but I was thinking a 4.5, but that ending, everything about this, I've thoroughly enjoyed that. Oh my god, I have so many questions about the witches and about Kaltain, and I don't think we're ever going to get those answers for Kaltain because she's dead. And I wanted justice for Kaltain, to be honest. I just feel so bad for her. At least hopefully we will get justice for Lysandra properly. Hopefully her and Aedion will get together and fall in love and have a happily ever after. I'm more interested in the witches now, and Manon doesn't annoy me quite as much as she did. But I still don't see what Dorian's going to see in her. But I think him having that Val Prince in his head has really changed him in a way that will draw him to her. And because she was the one person who kind of brought him back to himself a little bit, because of her eyes for some reason. Yeah, that's another thing. Why is her eyes scared the princes? Because they're like, the princes will say like they've been made by the king or something. So what's going on there? I think there's some lore either I've missed or we're gonna get it. I might have missed it as I've been reading it, I don't know. Maybe it's specifically how the Blackbeak clan came to be with their iron teeth. Maybe they were specifically created by the king. I don't know. Okay, listen, is it like 2 days later and I'm still in the same outfit that I last filmed in, pretty much? Yes. But my excuse is I got in from work and the plan was to shower and wash my hair tonight. But my dad, he picked me up from work and he was like, we're going to IKEA, and I was like, why? But I went, and then got home at like 5. I needed to do my nails. So my plan was to do my nails and then shower. However, I was only going to take them off, but then I decided just to do something really plain. And I thought, well, I might as well do them. So I've eaten later, and now it's 8:30 and I can't be bothered to wash my hair tonight. So I've decided instead I'm going to wash my hair tomorrow morning and change my bedding and have all fresh, lovely. But to me, these were like dirty clothes that could go in the wash afterwards. Anyway, that is why I'm wearing the same outfit. And you don't, if I wear these clothes in the house, I don't really move. I'm not exactly sweating. Okay, you can wear your clothes more than once. Okay, anyway, I realised I have not done any update at all about this tandem read, and I am 300 pages in total. So where I'm at, it's lovely. We've gotten in sync. I'm on page 157, chapter 17 of Empire of Storms, and I'm on page 155, chapter 13 of Tower of Dawn. Empire of Storms is the more action-packed book because you are following Aelin, you are following Elide, and you are following Manon. Okay? In Tower of Dawn, you are just following Chaol, at least as we are right now. I don't know if we're going to be following more people or a new point of view. I don't know. But currently, we are only following Chaol and, by extension, I suppose, Yrene. So we have 3 stories going on, and 2, but they're the same. Like, they are related to each other. In this one where we're at currently, these 3 stories are happening in 3 different parts of the world and following 3 different, like, plots, okay? 2 will probably come together. They probably all will come together by the end of this, but yeah. But this, like, Elide's point, it's just Elide's point of view of what's happening and Chaol's point of view of what's happening, of the same thing, basically. So I do not understand how only Chaol's book, pretty much, is this long. My friend did say Tower of Dawn could have been the size of A Court of Frost and Starlight. I feel like it probably could have been the size of like A Court of Thorns and Roses, like a 400 page, like a 350 to 400 page book. 650 plus pages of just Chaol's point of view, and I'm not saying that is disrespect to Chaol, I'm not. But what's gonna happen? Like, this is definitely slower paced. We're focusing on Chaol's recovery, and then now obviously there's clearly Valg, that's the word. There's clearly a Valg in the southern continent, of which name I have completely forgotten what it's called. So that's like the start of that. Yeah, Queen of Shadows, no, that was the last one. Empire of Storms, we've had Aelin be completely rejected by her country, pretty much. So Aelin, poor Aelin, bit tragic. She's gone to all this lengths to be told, but you're a murderer, so no, thank you. What's annoying me with that though is, like, she was groomed to be an assassin. She didn't just wake up one day and decide to kill people as an adult. She was groomed as an 8-year-old child to kill people by an awful human being. So she did what she had to survive as an 8-year-old orphan. Okay, after what, like, not watching her parents die, but lying in her parents' deathbed, covered in their blood. Fuck you, guys. Fuck you. Like, listen, I just really like Aelin. Okay. So we have that. Then we have Elide and Lorcan, and I'm like, Lorcan annoys me, and I can just feel they're probably gonna have a romance, and I don't like it. I don't want him to find happiness. I think he's an annoying little dickhead who just needs to suffer for the rest of his very, very long life. That might be harsh, but I don't think he deserves Elide. I love Elide. She is such a strong person despite what she's gone through, and I'm looking forward to more of her backstory. I'm hoping we get that. And then we've got Manon. I wanted to call him Marath, that's the place. Then we've got Manon. And again, I'm liking her more. I'm dying to get back to this. I hope we're in her point of view, actually, because, oh, thank God we are. Because literally the last part I listened to of this, because when I've last been reading these, it's been a lot of the Tower of Dawn, but it switched after being told that Asterin was gonna be killed. So I've been on that cliffhanger while I've just been hanging out with Chaol, trying to recover. So there's a lot going on. I'm a bit confused about the love stories though, because we've got Chaol and Nesryn are clearly kind of starting something, but I'm getting vibes between Chaol and Yrene, and between Nesryn and, I don't know, I've not actually seen his name spelt now I think about it, and I can't remember what his name is. One of the princes. Sartaq. There's a little bit of a vibe between them two. So I don't think Chaol and Nesryn are going to end up together. I think Chaol and Yrene, and Nesryn and what was it again? Sartaq. Yeah, I feel like they have more of a vibe going on. I don't know, but we'll see. I'm going to leave my update there. I feel like that's quite a lot of thoughts. I didn't realise I had them. I'm going to try and read as much of this as I can And then we've got all of tomorrow to binge read. And then on Sunday we have most of the day, but I'm going line dancing, like a class, but it's really quite far from me. And I'm getting a lift there, but I have to make my own way back. Not I have to, I've offered to make my own way back, and I don't know how to get back. So I might be stuck, and I'm not taking 1,200 pages out with me. Oh my god, thank god. I was like, okay, listen, I'm not that attached to the 13. I'm not quite sure why everyone's like, oh my god, the 13, and people have 13 tattoos and all this kind of stuff. But I was like, surely they won't be the 13 if there's only 12 of them. Surely she can't be killed. And I have been dying for the grandmother to die since like the beginning of the last book. I hate the grandmother of the Blackbeard Coven. She's awful. Just like evil. Why would you treat your blood relative like that? And now she's hopefully dead. I hope so. Okay, she's not dead. That's really disappointing. But still, I'm glad Manon is finally battling the true evil here. Okay, I feel like I have so much blush on. I'm hoping it chills out by the time I go out. I'm going line dancing today. Like a line dancing dance class. Only problem is it's really far from me. My dad is taking me and I have to make my own way back. Anyway, that's not why we're here. We're here for the Throne of Glass vlog. So, here is where we're up to. I am I'm really over halfway of Tower of Dawn. I'm on chapter 32. We're in part 2. However, Empire of Storms we've really not got all that far in, but I'm following the tandem reads. This is where you're meant to be. Here is what I'm thinking so far. Okay. I am more connected to Tower of Dawn, weirdly enough. My best friend said she thought I keep wanting to call it Queen of Shadows. No, that was the last one. Empire of Storms is where I was at, and Tower of Dawn could have been Court of Frost and Starlight sized novella. Listen, I've really enjoyed following Cheol on his like healing journey and everything with Irene. Is it Irene? Yeah. I've really enjoyed that, their little like budding romance that's happening. We're now currently following Nesrin and Sartak. And that I'm just not as invested in. I don't know why, I'm just not. But I've been really enjoying Tower of Dawn. And I think maybe because I am like 100 pages further in Tower of Dawn of Empire of Storm. So I've got 100 pages more with Cheol and Nesrin and Irene. That being said, I am excited about this. I don't know what's happening with Manon. If this is following a time order, okay, what's happened to Manon in the last 2 weeks? 2 weeks has passed since our last Manon chapter. I just want to know if she's alive. Where's the rest of the 13? She was like dying, cut open, but she's on her own. I don't understand why she's on her own. They left together. So I need to know what's happening with her. Obviously we've had Aelin and Rowan are now back together. See, the next 2 chapters are not Manon chapters. I'm trying not to spoil anything. There's still not a Manon. Where is Manon? I'm not. This is the thing. I didn't think I was invested in Manon until now. She's injured. I don't know where she is or what's happening to her. But 2 weeks has passed. Because now Aelin's with Rowan. So I need to know what's happening. Anyway. Okay, yeah. I think that's it for my update so far. If I had any other thoughts. Oh, I did have one. I really enjoyed... There was this one moment with Cheol that absolutely broke my heart where he and Irene took him to do a like lesson with her girls, like the other healers. And like the way they got him off the horse and him being so angry and so like humiliated. Yeah, him being so humiliated and then like having that outburst to Irene, I was like, oh, I really felt for him. And seeing his, like, he's going through so much trauma and like just the pain alone of his healing, I feel so bad for him. He has got it so bad at the moment. So maybe that's why I just feel bad for Cheol, and that's why I feel like I'm enjoying that book, because I feel really connected to his character at the minute. I don't know. But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna go. I will talk to you later when I have more thoughts about these books. I'm reading them a little bit quicker than I thought I would. Like it's easy, like the tandem reads easier than I thought it would be. And And it's not feeling like it's dragging, it's not feeling like it's 12,000 pages, but it's over 12,000 pages. Kingdom of Ash is going to be hard though, I think. But we'll see. Aedion and Lysandra right now. Like, Aedion is trying to get Lysandra to not be the big sea dragon. Him saying he wants to marry her, oh my god. But he got her back to being in her human mind instead of the dragon. I know he meant it though. Man is in love with Lysandra. If she dies, I am not going to be happy. Okay, Lysandra's alive, thank god. We're in like the big chunk where we're just staying in Empire of Storms. That was so intense. What happened with Aelin? She was really kind of stupid. The whole plan was great. Do not get me wrong. Her wearing the word key during it, really stupid. A goddess taking over her? Very confused by that. I don't know what just happened. But Lysandra is a queen. That woman, I don't even know, she fought so hard there. She literally did the impossible. We stand Lysandra, honestly. I'm now halfway through. I might read another chapter or so and then I'm going to bed. It's Tuesday morning. I'm going to get my hair done soon, but I thought I'd read through a bit this morning. Wish I was recording my reaction to this. So Dorian's just asked for Manon to be like set free and allowed to roam the ship and not locked in her room. Which, to be honest, fair enough. I get it, she tried to kill Aelin, but Aelin decided to spare him. And since then, because of Manon, we were able to get Dorian back, and then she went back again and saved Dorian, which led to her being told to kill her second, not doing it, being gutted by her grandma, and basically thrown out. Well, she would have been killed if she hadn't escaped, basically. So already we've seen a change in Manon and where her like loyalties lie, or at least where her morals are willing to take her. So I get that, and I understand Dorian. Dorian wanting to fuck her out of nowhere, I find hilarious, because a few books ago when I found out Dorian was going to be getting with Manon, I was like, I have no idea how. And I feel like I still don't know how. I don't know what it is about Manon that he sees in her. But I will tell you one thing about Manon. If there's one thing about her I'm going to trust, it's her senses. And if she says Fenris isn't Fenris, where the fuck is he then? Where is he? Oh, he is there. He's fine. He's not. I was like, has this been a bloodhound the whole time? And Fenris is somewhere else? Okay, no, he's fine. He's still on the ship, just patrolling. I also love how Rowan straight away goes for Fenris and he believes her straight away. Probably partly because Fenris decided to strike at Manon. Like, that's kind of giving yourself away, love. Oh no, has he killed Estherine? Estherine? I still don't know how to pronounce her name. I'm gonna say it's a misdirect. I don't think he has. Maybe she left it somewhere and they're just like saying they killed her. I hope so. I hope they haven't killed her. Okay, maybe they did kill her because they know about the unclean brand. This is such a random thought. This book especially, I don't know what it is, it's almost set out like a video game with how many like little bosses you get, and then there's maybe like a bigger boss fight. Like, this would work really well as a video game if you're following Aelin. Aelin's obviously part of the story, maybe not Elise, but it's just sort of like travelling through the world. You'd have like your quiet moments where you're bonding as a team, travelling through the world, and then you would have like your boss fights here and there. It just worked, I don't know, it really like works as a video game. So the roots are still there. If they look a bit weird now, that's because I've had to put aloe vera on. So my scalp is burnt, basically, literally just there, but she was like, yeah, that's not happening today. It looked fine this morning, but I don't know. So I've put some aloe vera on, and I'm just gonna wear a hat and avoid the sun as best I can this next week. She's doing it next Tuesday instead. Anyway, I managed to get caught up, and we're at the end of like the big chunk of Empire of Storms. We have had, I said I wasn't that invested in Elide and Lorcan at the minute. I know them two are obviously going to end up together. They just, you get the vibe straight away. But the last couple of chapters when she gets like taken and he comes after her and she was told he left her and he hadn't. And he said, I will always find you. And then later on she said, I will always find you too. I kind of like them. He's redeemed himself a little bit for the way he's very clearly got this like soft spot for a lead. I still don't like him. I still think he's a bit of an idiot, and the fact he's very clearly infatuated with Maeve, bit dodgy. I also don't like how Gavriel said he... I've like, it's fully curved. This, I don't know why, this is the only book that spine has broken when I've read it. I got further in Tower of Dawn and this spine is perfectly fine. Anyway, so Fenris is very vocal about the fact that he hates that he is like bloodsworn to Maeve. And Aelin asked on Aideen's behalf if Gavriel felt the same, and he's kind of like, no, it's an honour. And there was only once where he wished he wasn't bloodsworn, and that's obviously when he fell in love with Aelian's mum. I don't like that, Gavriel. That's put Gavriel down in my book. Like, why would you be happy serving this type of woman? Okay, things were just... I'm very chilly, I don't know why. Things were just getting very hot and heavy with Lorcan in the lead, which I'm kind of here for. But Lorcan saying he's been in love with Maeve since he first laid eyes on her, but it wasn't her lover. Meanwhile, I think 2 of the other sworn men are, at least one of them is. I think one of them, it's all he does. That must suck. He's like, oh, I have no hope for her. And Alita's like, I don't think that sounds like love. And I don't think it does either, to be fair. But imagine like being in love with someone, in this case probably infatuation, offering yourself in that way and then be like, no, I've got someone else, thanks, and just having to do anything she wants. Not that, like rejecting you quite plainly, even though she likes like collecting pretty men. That's a bit of a slap in the face. It's also a little bit pathetic of him to still pine for her. Listen, I don't know what happened, I don't know when it happened, okay? But I really like Lorcan when he's with a lead. I like a Lorcan with a lead. How he's been lately. If we ignore the man we know from Queen of Shadows, okay, if we forget that happened and look at this purely as a Lorcan and a lead romance, he's just a grumpy man who finally finds love and is not grumpy for her. And she's the only person he likes. And I love a grumpy man who only likes her. So, if we think of it in that regard, I'm kind of loving him. But she's injured. She was trying to save him and she drove into the way and she like, her arm is like really gross. And he was just like, why did you do that? And she's basically like, I didn't want you to die. Where's Aelin though? Like, he's shouted her name multiple times. And Aelin was like there. They were on the way to Aelin. She saw the both of them. Where is she? And the fact he's got a shield up about like and he's gonna let Gavriel, he's gonna put his shield down to let Gavriel heal her. Just for Gavriel and Fenris to kill him. I wanna know how, if Fenris is struggling to restrain himself against the oath, how is Gavriel managing to be able to heal her? I don't understand that. You know what, genuinely, I think Manon and Aelin could be really good friends. They both have that like scary but lethal smile that they like to do, and they seem to do it in unison. Always at Rowan, and I kind of love it. I just think they could be really good friends. They both have this hardened way about them because of what they've had to like endure in life. I'm glad that I think that's the last person now. We had the merchant, he's shown up in Tower of Dawn from Assassin's Blade. And now we've had Irene, she turned up. And now finally we've got Ansel from was it the last story? No, it wasn't the last story, but from the Silent Assassins story, she's finally showed up. So now we have sort of an army starting. Aelin's being surprisingly nice to her, all things considered, but I suppose she is asking for her help, so... Aerin being a bi-king, love that. I love how he's taking his time with Lysandra and not wanting to scare her off or like accidentally make her feel pressured in anything. He's like fully gonna take the tiniest little baby steps. Like the one thing he's asked from her is honesty, and like it's not even with the thought of anything else going forward. I just love how patient he is with her, because at the end of the day she was forced to be a prostitute and she'll have so much kind of like trauma in that, and I think he'll have also been forced to do things he hasn't wanted to do, but I just love how patient he is with her. She really deserves him. Okay, I've had to come upstairs for this clip because I had to put my camera on charge. We're back in Tower of Dawn, and okay, listen. So Irene has managed to manipulate Hussar into taking them into like the desert. It's not really a house, it's just like a bunch of fancy tents, but like into their desert like residence, so that her and Chael could look into something. But tell me why every single time Cashin is fine, Sartaq is fine, but Hussar and the other one whose name begins with A, I hate them. They're just bitchy, stupid, selfish, mean. I just don't like them at all, and I don't like Hussar especially because of the way she treats Irene like a friend, but she treats Irene like a lower friend, as if her friendship is like a charity that she's bestowed upon Irene, and I don't like it. I don't like how she actually treats Irene. She's horrible. And then, so before they left for the desert, they had like a meal, and Hussar and that other prince kind of like went in on Chael a bit, and Chael just kind of has to sit there and be respectful because he is like a foreign emissary in this kingdom and he can't really say anything, and it really annoyed me. And then they've just done it again here, and she's just an absolute dickhead, and Hussar especially is like saying all these little like just little bobs, and the fact that Chael was like, I really want to throw her in the pool but doesn't. But Irene does. Literally, it's so funny. She's completely drunk. I just think it's so funny that Irene has clearly had enough of her shit, and she's like, do not insult my man like this. Like Irene, I love Irene. She is such a strong character, and I love her finally standing up for... She's not even standing up for herself, because we're talking about Irene marrying Cashin, even though Hussar knows that she does not want to marry Cashin, which I hate, so that's what makes me hate her even more. But she will stand up for her mans. Okay, so we've just found out that Aelin's gonna die. I mean, she's not, realistically, so I don't know how she's gonna get out of that. Not her being like, you have to love yourself to heal. And I mean, like, mental wounds, yeah, I guess, yeah, but like, it's a little bit funny, I'm not gonna lie, it's a little bit cliche. The fact that Rowan managed to turn Maeve's people against her and went for his own, like, family, his own court. The man that Rowan is, he is, like, so powerful. He is just, like, he's not even just powerful in, like, magic sense. I mean, like, he has this presence, this intellect, and I don't know, he's just a powerful man. I'm on to like the last, well, we've got the last section of Empire of Storms and then the last section of Tower of Dawn. This is the last we're swapping, and then we're done. Oh my god, things are about to get crazy. I can just tell. I'm confused by nameless is my price. I don't know what it means. Like, I know they're interpreting it as Aelin being like needing to die, but I'm confused by the wording. I don't get it. Anyway. Okay, I think I get it now. Because of Brannon's mark. Does that make sense? Abraxos went... Is it Abraxos? Yeah. Abraxos went and found the 13. Oh, thank God. I was thinking, where has he gone? Like, this whole time. Where has he been? That makes so much sense. Thank God. We needed that, like, resolving it some way. Thank God. Oh, Aestrin is alive, thank God. Thank God. Fenris seems very intent on Aelin. Like, he's very... I don't know. He's, like, really trying to save her. He's really, like... I don't know. She lets Gavriel go when he's the one person who actually wants to be blood oath to her. Meanwhile, Fenris is just still stuck with her. That's so rude. How long is this going on? What is happening right now? This is ridiculous. Why is everyone turning up too late? This is really annoying me now. Literally everyone's just turned up far too late. And she's gone. And really badly injured. And I'm so pissed off. I'm just... I don't even know how much have I got left of this. I have like at least another hour of reading right now. I hope this goes a lot better than this did, because I can't take more of that. I knew it was one of the siblings. I knew it, but I was not expecting the pregnant one. Especially because we've barely heard from her this whole time. Is Chaol going to die? I'm trying not to spoil it for myself. I'm trying to cover the page. There's now princesses. Or Valg. This is never ending. Oh, I'm not looking forward to this very last chapter. But that was really sweet. Chaol realising that the note is from Aelin, Selena, and them getting married. I look awful. Chaol and Irene getting married. This book, it's had a lot. It still had like a bit of a hectic bit, but the ending's feeling a lot more like hopeful. Which Queen of Shadows, no, I keep calling it Queen of Shadows. Empire of Storms was not hopeful in the slightest. But this has got a hopeful feeling to it. But then the last chapter being called Fireheart, it doesn't sound great. Oh, I feel so bad for Aelin. She's been tortured multiple times in life already. And now she's just going to be tortured again. For the sake of people who have no faith in her, do not think her worthy of being queen. Because she was literally groomed into being an assassin. She was groomed. She was a child. And then I did her... But she's willing to do it for the greater good. Oh, I love Aelin. Oh, now we just have the last book left. And like that's 1,000 pages long, and what's gonna happen? It's 12:30. I have to be up in 5.5 hours. I'm gonna go to bed. We will talk about this more tomorrow. Possibly. But both these books. I'm gonna give them both a 4.5. I can't say I preferred one over the other. I enjoy both of them for very different reasons. I'm gonna give them both a 4.5. Okay, it's bedtime. Okay, this is a bit dark, but it's fine. Okay. We are about to start the 980 page final book of Throne of Glass. I've just read 1,200 pages in the tandem read in 6 days, so I feel like I can do this. It's a bit daunting though, I'm not gonna lie. I'm hoping it doesn't feel like 900 pages. You know, like you get books that feel really long. I hope this feels quick and that I'm like in it from the start. Last night was slightly traumatic in that just a lot was happening, and I have done nothing but think about Aelin since, and I just want her to be okay. I want them to save her. The first chapter is called The Prince, and then there's The Princess, and then it's part 1. Oh, okay, let's get into the pain that is going to be this book. It's so big. This is going to be so physically uncomfortable to read, but it's fine. My goal was to get about 400 pages through this today, and now it is 10 to 4 and I'm only on page 100. To be fair, I stopped reading this to have my lunch and to charge my camera because I'm 100 pages in, first of all, so I'm now just over 10%, which is mad to say. But oh my god, I genuinely... So what's just happened is Fenrir's brother's just been killed, Connell, by Maeve, after Connell outwardly saying that he is disappointed in Fenrir's and that he like hates him basically. I'm wondering if that wasn't real. As soon as Connell started saying basically started saying that like horrible stuff to Fenrir's, my brain was like, what if that's not really Connell? Because the whole reason Fenrir's has this blood oath is for his brother, and he hates it. But I don't think Connell does, to be fair. And then she just stabbed him. I'm like, why would you stab your currently one faithful, blood-sworn warrior? That doesn't make sense. So I'm wondering if, as punishment, Fenrir's now thinks Connell's dead. And obviously Aelin thinks it, but I'm wondering if he's not, and if it was some sort of trick somehow. That's what I'm hoping for, because otherwise, poor Fenrir's. I feel like when Aelin does get saved, her and Fenrir's are going to have this bond that is completely unbreakable, that is going to be completely different to every other bond she's got so far with anyone, because he is literally having to stand there day in, day out, watching her get tortured and then healed without her knowledge because she's passed out at this point. And all he can do is sit there in his wolf form and watch. He wasn't even allowed to, like, until, like, literally now, he hasn't been able to be in human form. He's been stuck in his wolf form, just being told when he can go to the toilet even. And I'm just like, for both of them, like, to him, he's thinking, I think he started feeling like Aelin's his queen, and I think he started feeling that way towards the end of the last book, because he obviously hates being sworn to Maeve, and he always has. And I think him seeing that while Rowan is sworn to Aelin, they've just got, like, there's no control there, and I think he just is seeing that and is realising that's how it should be. You should be blood sworn to someone who you trust and is not going to use you as a weapon and use you like in the most dehumanizing, violating ways. So I think he really has started seeing her as his queen, and so I think, yeah, it's really horrible. And Rowan, I don't even know, but all I know is, why Rowan? Okay, listen, Elide said to go to Doranel because she's like, it's too easy, it has to be right, because it's so easy that you wouldn't think about it, hence why that's where they are, because they're hidden in plain sight. Meanwhile, Lorcan's like, nah, let's try the other place. Lorcan, you fucked up enough as it is, mate. You fucked up enough as it is. You don't get a say. But Rowan's been like, yeah, let's go to this other place. That's 3 days in the wrong direction. No, make the 2-week trek to Doranel, babe. Like, that's where she is. It's so frustrating. What's frustrating is it's just, she's already been through so much. She was tortured by Arobynn to learn how to torture people, essentially. And even then, and she was in Endovia as a slave. And this is 10 times worse than anything we've seen her go through. So it's paining me that it's taking them ages to find her. Like, for my mental health, I need them to find her. Quite honestly. There's just, yeah, it's a lot. This book is definitely heavier. It's so much heavier. I don't even know how she's going to come out of this as a functioning human being. Or Faye. She's not fully human, I suppose. I don't know how she's going to come out of this as a functioning person. But every time we're in her point of view, I just want to cry. It's horrible. Oh yeah. Irene's pregnant. Irene is pregnant. This really throws a spanner in the works, because Chaol wants nothing more than to fight for his continent, his kingdom. The problem is, if he dies, Irene dies. And if Irene's with child, Chaol's gonna be like, I can't fight. Even though he wants nothing more than to fight. He can't put himself in harm's way, because if he dies, Irene dies, ergo, baby dies. But also, if they have a kid and one of them dies, they're now an orphan. It's so messy. But I love them. Okay, I think we're at the part where Aylin's gonna get rescued. We're 230-ish pages in, chapter 25. And I think she's about to get rescued. Fingers crossed, because I can't handle her being tortured anymore. And I'm not even the one being tortured. I can't handle her being tortured anymore. I love how this whole time Fenris is just barking. But like it's like I don't know. I can't tell if Fenris can sense Rowan, so he's barking to get his attention, or if Fenris is just like just freaking the fuck out basically. I can't decide. I think it's probably that he can sense Rowan, but I kind of find it funny. Also, I need a light on. It's way too dark in here for this. It probably doesn't look it on camera, but it's really getting dark. Fenris is like breaking his blood oath. I love him. He did it. Oh my god. Oh, look, I'm being the first one to see her. That was such good timing of her managing to get free, Fenris breaking his blood oath, and these guys coming for her. But oh, I really hope Fenris doesn't die. There's got to be a way for him breaking the blood oath that won't kill him, surely. Please. This man probably is begging for death in many ways. Like, he has lived a very tortured life. Aylin is such a fighter, it's not even funny. Oh my god, I could cry. I love her, she's amazing. She just literally never gives up. I love how the whole you do not yield thing, it only comes from this book. Like, it's a massive thing about, like, it's a massive quote that everyone talks about from this series, and it's literally only in this book. Anyway, right, this might make me sound a bit like a little bit of a psychopath. Clearly, Rowan's come into the room here and seen what was about to happen, because he can see the metal table with the brazier thing. Is it a brazier? Is that what because to me that's a bra. But the things underneath to heat up the table, basically. In my opinion, heal him enough that he wakes up, put him on the table, and do what he was going to do to Feyre. Different series, to Aylin. I mean, it's only fair. Oh, he is chained to the table, I like it. Oh, I cannot do this, Aylin. We're in Adian's point of view, and things are not going well. It's really bad. This battle that they've been having to deal with in Terrasen is likely only a fraction of Marath's soldiers, and yet a lot of the silent assassins are dead, a lot of Galen's army is dead, a lot of Ansel's army is dead, and half of them haven't arrived yet. I don't know why, but she's like, oh no, they're coming, and are they? It's very stressful. And now Lysandra's pretending to be Aylin, but obviously can't control fire. Okay. Why? The one thing that's annoying me about this book, and I get it, is to get you to keep reading, and to be honest, it's keeping me reading and keeping me hooked, do not get me wrong. But we were just with Chaol, and he was like, I can't believe who walked through the flap. And then we changed to Adian, and I'm like, wait, what do you, I want to know who walked through. But then we reached to Adian, and Adian's like, literally everyone is now turned to ash because of this witch tower. And now we're back to Chaol. I'm like, please, just, like, everyone's dead with Adian, pretty much. The majority of forces that Aylin had brought together is dead. It's going to be Aylin, Rowan. It's going to be the main group. The 13 and the Iron Witches, like the few Iron Witches that they've probably managed to bring onto their side. And the Cagnate, is that what's the Khagan's armed forces? That's all it's going to be. We no longer will have the Silent Assassins. We no longer will have Ansel's troops. We will no longer have, I want to call him Gavin. That's not what he's called. But her cousin, no longer gonna have his troops. They're all dead. The Bane, they're probably all dead. We went from having like 5 armies, and now we have currently 1. At least as far as I'm aware. Because Adian has literally just said the whole, like, everything just has turned to ash and dented metal. Stressed. Oh, it was who I thought it was going to be. I thought Aylin was going to be there, and she is. They just waited a while to tell us. Oh my god. I'm not gonna lie though, this is not the battle they need Aylin and Rowan at. It's not even slightly. But anyway, at least Chaol and Aylin have been reunited. Oh, her crying because he's standing. I can't. I'm literally crying at their like reunion. Oh. Okay, a lot has happened since I last updated the vlog. A lot. We are in the final third of the book. I'm on chapter 79. It's over 660 pages in. We've got about 330 left. I've read about 40 pages this morning and I stopped because I was like, I need to talk about Dorian for a minute. That man is like, he's really took a leaf out of Aelin's book with completely blindsiding Maeve, but his power is terrifying. Like everyone says Aelin's power is terrifying. It is, don't get me wrong, like fire is a very destructive thing. The difference is she just has fire. Dorian has raw power, which he can manipulate to be fire, to be ice, to be invisible hands. He could actually kill someone from afar and snap their neck. But not just that, he was not only able to steal the power from that Stygian, I don't know how you pronounce it, spider thing that she had stolen from the shapeshifter. So he was not only able to steal that power from her as he killed her, he was able to steal Maeve's ability and she can't do it anymore, steal her ability to open like portals.
Okay, on further research, it's not that he stole her power, it's that he severed her ability to use it, which is still terrifying because he's taken someone's power away from them. I mean, if he stole the Stygian spider's power, he may as well have stole Maeve's, but no, he just severed her power, so he completely took it from her.
Like what, like at this point, what even is his power? Like war power, but the way I would imagine, if someone says their power is war power, that just means you could put it in any medium, like being able to use fire or ice or wind or whatever, lightning. That's it. To me, its power would come out physically as anything you decide you want it to be, right? That's what I would say war power is. This is something different. That is mad. So we now have a king who is not only able to wield power in whatever form he wants it to come out as, but he can also shapeshift. That man is so, like, how he played it as well, and he decided just at the end, he's like, you know what, I'm going to take this power as well. How handy is that? While I was reading it since the last update, I think the last update I said, Aedion was, like, everyone died. Okay, not everyone died, it turned out, but a large portion died. But then the Pirate King, I forgot his name, came and kind of saved the day, and Marath's forces kind of fled so that the other guys could flee. And they're now all in Orinth, as far as I'm aware. The thing is, yes, so the battle at Aniel, while the whole, first of all, again, talking about how scarily powerful someone is, the fact that my brain's wanting to call her Selena, what's her, Aelin, I mean she is Selena as well. The fact that Aelin was able to wield so much power to essentially boil such a large quantity of water, it would have flooded a town and turned it to steam, is mad. But like, why not? But also I feel so bad for her that was her killing blow to Maeve, and that's just been like taken from her, but she used it for good obviously, and I'm sure she'll be able to kill Maeve anyway. But that battle never felt hopeless necessarily. That being said, I think a lot of the warriors were feeling like, we can't do this, even though you have like 4 Fae warriors on your side and a massive army from the south. I don't know why they thought that, but once Aelin came out and they were all like, yeah, we can do this actually. I don't know, that battle never felt hopeless, but listen, Aedion has been fighting for his life for weeks and weeks and weeks, and every single battle has felt completely hopeless, and I don't know how they haven't all perished, quite frankly. Every time I'm in his point of view, I feel how hopeless he must feel. Like it's horrible being in their point of view. They don't know that Aelin's okay. And if any group needed Aelin, it's them. out of everyone who is currently fighting is them, and they've had the biggest army attack them, and it's just them. I just feel so bad. They've got no Fae. Oh no, they have two. They have Rowan's two cousins, but that's it. And so many of their forces have died now. It's just stressful. So God knows what's going to happen here. Where I've just read, Dorian has literally just got the third word key. So now I'm guessing he's going to go to Terrasen. He has to, surely. I really hope Maeve is killed by Erewhon somehow. Although I want Aelin to be able to kill her for herself. Like, she deserves that. She does. So yeah, that's my update. I feel like I've recorded far long. This video is probably going to have to be in 2 parts because God knows how long it is. And I'm probably going to film my reaction. I'm just going to film the last 100 pages to get my reaction because God knows what's going to happen. The fact that 13 is just gone. Manon is left and the other 12 sacrificed themselves to get rid of the witch tower and kill Manon's grandma. I literally can't believe that. I can't believe they're all dead. I don't know how Manon's gonna get past that. Quite frankly, I genuinely don't know how she's gonna do that. I was thinking up till now no one's died and I knew someone had to, but 12 did. To be fair, the only member of the 13 that I feel like we really know is Asterin. So her death, I feel. The rest, I don't really know them or like care that much, but I've started to care for the 13 of it. Oh, I feel so bad for her, and it's so funny because I hated her. Initially, well, I didn't hate her, I just didn't care. But she's the first person to make me fully cry. I've teared up a few times, but she's the first person, and like the 13 are the first group to make me actually cry. When I didn't care about them originally. That's quite interesting. If that's what I'm like about the group I didn't care that much about, what am I going to do about everyone else? Oh, I can't. I don't know why, but Chael and Dorian's friendship like absolutely destroys me. I'm gonna need a tissue, but I can't be able to get up and get one. Oh. I'm so glad Chael could walk for this and he's not having to use the chair or the cane. The fact he's literally ran to Dorian, sobbing. I don't know why that's broken me, like it has. I don't know why, but I just love them. Okay, we are back after some technical difficulties involving a wide-angle lens that I had literally just got today. It was like a lens adapter. It's stuck on. The video I looked at where I bought it from, it's screwed onto her lens. Maybe that was a previous model. It did not screw onto mine. It was meant to stick on. It did not stick, okay? Anyway, we're back to the regular lens and I'm off center. That doesn't look very good, does it? Okay. It's just getting heartbreaking. Aelin is once again sacrificing herself and poor Rowan is losing his mate all over again. Is she gonna be alive but have no magic at all now? Because we kind of gonna need your fire, babe. Like, cause you're not. Anyway. Are you? I am so angry. I'm so angry. It's not even funny. All of that. She did that for nothing. Absolutely nothing. Why? First of all, the bargain was for you to do that so that they would take Erewhon back as well. I've been doubtful of that, especially literally as this was happening. I'm like, I just don't think they're going to take Erewhon back because he's not even from their world. He's from a different world. And then I was like, I reading this, I was like, I just have a feeling they're not going to take him back. They were using her this whole time. And then she's like, why would Aelin bargain for Elena to still be like there so Elena wasn't like destroyed? Why would you bargain for that? She made her bed, now she's got a lie in it. You've got to die because of her. Why would you do that? And say you can leave Erewhon. Why would you do that? No, the people you love need him gone. I have enjoyed Aelin throughout all of this. I've thought she was so smart. I've thought she was so brave. She has never been dumber than in this moment. Because now they've gone, they've destroyed Elena and they've left Erewhon. And if Aelin lives, I'm fairly sure she's got no power left. So, literally, I'm so angry. It's not even funny. Okay, not gonna lie. Aelin's kind of good for opening that weird hell world from Throne of Glass. Oh no, from Crown of Midnight. Throne of Glass or Crown of Midnight? One of the two. Into their world. They just wanted to go home to their peaceful world, so they betrayed her. So she brought hell to their world and sealed them in it. Okay, I'm enjoying that. That makes me feel slightly less angry. I can't lie. I kind of love that. Are we seeing Rhysand and Feyre right now? Like, she's passing through one world and she sees a winged fae with a pregnant wife. And he's sent a blast of dark power to slow her down. I feel like that's Rhys. I don't know. She's practically powerless. Oh my god, this is so annoying. Her flame is what they need and it's gone. I'm so pissed. It's not even funny. They didn't need the word case. They could have ignored that this whole time. Wait, in the last 150 pages, Aelin has finally arrived. I'm 840 pages into this book and Aelin has only just come to the actual battle. The actual war that's been going on throughout this whole book. It's took Aelin 840 pages to get there. If I was Aedion, I would feel so resentful. I know she was taken, but for how long it's taken her to get back, it's not her fault, don't get me wrong. But if I was Aedion, I would feel a bit resentful in some capacity for how long it's taken. Also for how long it's taken like Chaol and all of them to get to the actual war. Because it's taken far too long. Far too long. And everyone else has had, Aelin aside, well, I'm not counting Aelin, but everyone else has had it far too easy compared to Aedion and Lysandra and everyone who's been in Terrasen fighting this whole time. Aelin was tortured for 2 months, so she is let off the hook there, don't get me wrong. She has had it worse. But Aedion has been mentally tortured by all of this. I want to cry for him. I don't know, oh, it's horrible. Okay. Last 150 pages. Let's go. I stopped recording. I shouldn't have stopped recording. Gavriel's dead? Aedion just got him back. Oh my god. I don't even know what to do with that. I don't think Aedion knows what to do with that. I jinxed it earlier saying like no one's died. Now Gavriel's died. I don't even know what to do. I don't want to continue. 120 pages left. Less than that really. And I don't see how they can win this. Unless Aelin's been lying this whole time and she has got her full power. There's no way they can win this, surely. Dorian and Yrene are now Caranam. This is meant to be really rare. What do you mean there's 2 sets in one series? Clearly she needed it though, so I mean, can't complain. So many sad things, but so many happy things. At least everything is over. I'm so sad that Gavriel's died. I'm not happy about that, but Elene and Lorcan are doing well. Chaol and Yrene, doing well. Dorian and Manon, nothing's really going on there. I don't know what's happening. I don't think Manon's going to recover mentally. And realistically, she's going to go be Queen of the Wastes. And Dorian's going to be the King of Ardalan. So I don't see how that could work, frankly. It's taken me being on page 957 of the last book to realise I've been reading the other witch's name wrong. Maybe it's a mistype for this one specific time. I have been reading it as Cochrane, and this says Crochan. Has it been Crochan this whole time? I've been reading it as Cochrane. It is Crochan. I've literally just been reading it as Cochrane for some reason. Not Crochan. Okay, it's 2 days later than when I finished this. I have put some thoughts together. After I finished, I did like voice note my friend back and forth about this book and about the series in general. So I'm going to do just a quick wrap up. I'm not going to wrap up every single book individually because I can't remember half the things from any of them now. I've been reading these technically for 3 months, just under like 2.5 months. I read the most of it in the last 2 months. My overall feeling is I prefer A Court of Thorns and Roses as a series. I felt more connected to that series. I felt more invested in that series. Just in general, I prefer A Court of Thorns and Roses. I feel a little bit disappointed by this series. Not that it's not a good series, not that I haven't enjoyed it. It's just I think it was so overhyped that I was expecting this god tier 6-star series that I would be super invested in, like absolutely heartbroken by. And while yes, I did cry at Dorian and Chaol, I just didn't feel, I don't know, I think the way it ended, it wasn't what I wanted. I don't know. Even though it ended well, it was happily ever after, it just wasn't how I wanted it to happen. And so I was disappointed by that, I can't lie. So I think I'm gonna change some of my ratings. I'll put a thing on screen here showing like every individual rating for all the books. I'm gonna rate this one, I think, 4 stars, because I think my favourite book out of all of them so far was probably Queen of Shadows. I don't know why, I just really did enjoy that book. Empire of Storms, Tower of Dawn will probably be a close second, and they, to me, I mean, I read them at the same time. I did enjoy them both equally, and I did love Assassin's Blade as well. So they're like, that's probably where we're at. There's a few, my main problems, how everyone was treating Aelin, is acting like she decided to go off and be an assassin, as if she wasn't groomed as an 8-year-old to become an assassin. Really pissed me off. I hated the fact that she lost her powers. I really did. How long it took them to get to Terrasen annoyed me as well. The whole time I was in Aedian's point of view, I would have been so resentful of everyone at that point for how long it took them to get there. I know there's reasons and all that, but it's just, what doesn't make sense to me? Okay, in ACOTAR, Valaris is, everyone talks about Valaris, and like on merch it's about Valaris. That makes sense, we spend a lot of time in Valaris. Valaris is this symbol of a better world, of hope, of love, of Rhys's sacrifices, like it's its own character. And yet Terrasen gets treated the same way, but I don't understand why, because we spend like 200 pages there. Aelin doesn't get to Terrasen. Yeah, at the beginning she gets to Terrasen for like 5 minutes. Oh, that was a Empire of Storms. Never mind. In this book, I think she gets to Terrasen in the last 90% of, like in the last 10% of the book. So Terrasen's treated the same as Valaris, but we just haven't spent the time there in Terrasen. Where we have spent the time is Odolin, and do we find out anything about how they're going to recover, even though the king has been a character since Throne of Glass? No. At the end of the day, Aelin spent half her life in Terrasen and the other half of her life in Odolin, and that is also a country that was ransacked and pillaged and attacked by the Valg and completely destroyed. Do we see anything to do with that? Do we have any sort of... We have no resolution for Odolin and how things are going to go forward with Dorian and everything. I'm really disappointed by that because it's such a big part of the story. You spend the first... Well, if we can't... Yeah, you spent the first 3 books, so Assassin's Blade, Throne of Glass and Crown of Midnight there. So I'm disappointed by that, I can't lie. So yeah, overall I did enjoy the series. Do not get me wrong, I really did enjoy the series. I enjoyed a lot of the characters and their friendships and their bonds, but I was slightly disappointed because it didn't quite live up to the hype. And I think I have so many thoughts, to be honest, but I don't want to, like, this video is probably already so long, it's not even funny. So I'm going to leave it there. They're my main problems with how it ended. I didn't like her losing her power, and I don't like how we don't know how things are in Odolin. Yeah, I do quite like that Manon and Dorian, it was left kind of open-ended. because to be honest, I don't actually believe in them as a couple. They just don't make sense. And if she's going to be the queen of the race and he's going to be the queen of Adolin, it doesn't make sense. The queen, the king. So I'm kind of glad that they didn't end up together, in all honesty. So yeah, that's it. The Throne of Glass series is complete. I'm really glad I've read the series. I'm going to go on to Crescent City at some point. Probably wait till after the third one's come out in paperback. I think it comes out either in June or July. I can't remember. And then I can read them all together. At least there's only 3, but I think they're all over 600, 700 pages plus. But at least it's only 3, not 8. This series could have been a lot shorter than it was. Let's be real. Let's be real. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video or videos. I don't know if it's going to be 1 or 2 yet. I haven't even started editing it. That's everything. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe down below if you haven't already. And if you agree with me that it's slightly overhyped, let me know in the comments. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.